basically this exercise it's a way of helping you practice your doing this with your inner senses. So I find it's easier to work with a negative reference experience, but nothing that, if you're going to make it more intense, it wouldn't make you ill. So for example, if you said the dentist, that would be a bad choice, because if it was painful, they were drilling, like, and part of this exercise is increase the intensity, obviously that's going to make you ill, right? So you want to have something where if you increase the intensity, it would be unpleasant, but it wouldn't make you vomit or something, right? That would be unhelpful. Is that true? I mean, that makes sense. So, I mean, like sometimes people pick something like a parking, I ran towards my car, but the parking warden gave me a ticket. I mean, so, if you saw their face, maybe you'd be more annoyed, but it wouldn't, it wouldn't. So can you think of a memory like that where it was kind of annoying or upsetting, but not really that bad?
Yes, I can.
Would you be willing to share it with me so I can judge?
Yeah, we were just speaking about dogs during the break, and it's people walking their dogs in the street and just letting that dog poo on the street without doing anything. So I remember one situation on the street.
Okay.
So it's not that annoying. It's annoying, but not, yeah.
Okay, and the dog wasn't attacking you or anything?
No, not
okay.
at all.
Okay, that's good. Okay, sure, that seems a good one. And also we can develop the smell sense in the...
Yes, I think you can have everything, yeah.
Okay. So I think we can start with the coach state. There's no harm just to kind of get you ready in your own way. So how would you...
So usually I'm going to my safe place.
Okay.
So closing my eyes, taking some deep breaths, and using my senses, seeing everything around, which is reinforcing the fact that it's a safe place. I'm doing the same with the sounds that I can hear around me. What I can feel with my fingers or feet on the floor, as well as what I can smell and taste.
Thank you. So, can we invite you to go, I don't know why I'm speaking in the third person, can we invite you? Can I invite you? I don't know, I think it's certainly, I mentioned earlier about getting some kind of complex, I don't know, I want to try and avoid, just tell me if I'm speaking in the third person. Can I invite you to think of this, remember this kind of lack of pooper scooper going on somewhere. So where were you?
At home, just in front of my house.
Okay, so if you had gestured there, I mean, do you have a picture of it or somewhere, or because you did that, does that mean you saw the picture?
Yeah, because the person was coming from that way, and I was like that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So if you were to put up a picture again, like if there was like a movie screen somewhere, would it be there?
Yeah, it would be there.
And just describe what you see to me.
So someone walking from the street with that dog, and that's all. Yeah.
Great. And when you see that person walking to the street with their dog, just look at it again.
Yeah, it was just in front of me.
Great. I'm going to ask you now to sort of connect that picture to a feeling. So how do you feel?
I was feeling quite nice, because we are speaking about dogs all the time at home. So yeah, I was interested to look at the dog, which type of dogs it was. So yeah.
Okay. So we're moving towards a negative memory. So when did it become negative?
When the dog owner left that dog just poo on the street and didn't do anything.
Okay.
So keep walking.
So noticing that moment and kept walking, what happened then? Did you get a negative feeling?
Yeah. It just made me, negative feeling, yes.
And where did you feel it in your body?
I was feeling sick.
So in your stomach?
Yeah.
Or chest?
More, yeah.
Was there a smell?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I just had to.
It's a very visual and smelly example. I'm sorry.
Sure. Okay, but without the joke, this is the important first bit. If you don't get this bit right, the whole thing falls down. So you want picture, maybe sound, maybe smell, maybe taste, whatever. I mean, outside, and then feeling inside. Yeah. And now with that, we can begin. Okay? So I'll just guide you through it, and you seem to like to do it with your eyes closed, which is fine. So as you look now at that picture again, of when you were getting annoyed, when they walked away, there was a smell, it was all pretty unpleasant. Tell me when the feeling comes back. And what I'd like you to do is just change the visual submodality. So why don't we try moving it back so it's like 50% smaller? And maybe notice, does that make the feeling better, worse, the same? What would you say?
I'm back to when I just saw the dog walker coming. So it's good. I cannot see any details, so that's great. I can just see someone walking their dog.
And now maybe bring it 50% closer than it was, so it's really closer than it was before. I mean, bring it right close to you. And what's that like, feeling-wise?
The feeling is stronger. I'm feeling more annoyed.
Okay. So just put it back to the original. Now, when you look at the original, was it in color or black and white?
It was in color.
Can you make it black and white?
I can.
And when you do, does that affect the feeling at all?
Yes, because it's looking like a picture, so it doesn't look real anymore.
And how do you feel?
Looking at a black and white photographic. So, neutral in a way.
So the feeling is less intense? Okay. What about making it, when you look at the original picture, putting it back, was it moving or still? Do you see it as a sort of movie or as a picture?
I think it was a movie.
Okay, so in the same way, can you freeze frame and make it a still?
Yeah.
And as you do that, what happens to the feeling?
It's reducing the feeling, yeah.
Great.
Neutral.
Okay, so I like oil paintings. I actually, if I can do a little bit of a French thing, I did pop over to the Musée d'Orsay and saw Van Gogh and all these various impressionists. I don't know, do you have a preferred painter?
Monet.
Okay. So if you look at the scene now, the dog and all the rest of it, I don't know if this is kind of a bit of a joke, but it's quite nice. Can you monify it?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so now you've modified it and it's more impression de chien. Sounds slightly pretentious. What's it like now?
I can feel that I smiled, so it's a lot. The feeling is completely different.
Correct. So now put it back. And now, what about this idea of a cartoon? I mean, did you like cartoons when you were growing up? Which was your favourite? Or one you remember?
I don't remember. Cartoon. The Shroomf. How is that called in English? You know, the small blue and white.
Smurf.
Yes. No, I quite like having the dog owner like that.
Okay, great. Well, exactly. So can you look at this dog owner and,
yes, I can.
And Smurfify him?
Yes, I can.
It was a person. Smurf. Is that better?
Yes, much better.
Okay, lovely.
But funnier.
So now let's move away from visual to auditory. So there would have been, I mean, did you talk to the dog owner before this?
Not before, but after, yes.
Okay. So I'd like you to sort of just point to where you hear their voice again now.
Where I hear their voice, yeah.
But I mean, were they in front of you? To your left?
Yes, they were close to me, yes.
So they were becoming straight towards you. What I'd like you to do is just move the sound so it could move, let's say, to your right. Or to your left.
Yeah.
Or above you. Or right down. Or even behind you. now have that sense of that feeling and the sound. As you move it around, where's a comfortable place to hear that, or more comfortable to hear that sound?
Behind.
Behind. Okay, lovely. Now, if you're hearing their voice, I mean, pitch. I mean, could you make it more like something like that?
Yes, I can.
And what's that like, feeling-wise?
It's a lot. The situation is a lot funnier. Yeah.
Okay. And what about the tempo? Can you slow it down?
Yes, I can as well.
Speed it up. And do you have a preference?
When it's slowed down.
Okay. And finally, you can make it more bassy voice, bassy, boom, boom.
No, high pitch and slow.
Okay. So now we're going to actually visit the feeling itself. So just imagine you feel the feeling itself within your chest there. Could you make it warmer? What's that like?
Yeah, it doesn't change a lot.
What happens if you make it colder?
Yes. It's yeah.
Better. So putting it back, now increase the pressure of the feeling so it's more intense. What's that like?
It's worst.
Yeah, I saw your shoulders rise. So, and now reduce the pressure.
Yeah.
Okay. And now try moving it into a different part of your body. So it's currently in your chest. Where would you like to move it to?
I was thinking my hands, just to get rid of it.
Okay, so try that. What's that like?
Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion? Just this is
Yes.
maybe more for everyone else, but would you take the feeling in your heart again, or in your chest there, and move it into one of your arms? And just notice what it's like in that arm. And maybe try the other arm. What about in your foot?
Yes.
And now what about putting it outside of you? Where would it be? Just try sticking it somewhere in midair.
It would be on the floor.
Okay. So what's it like on the floor?
It's completely neutral. It's not. There is no. Yeah.
Okay, and finally, speed. So we have a sense of, if you move into that feeling again, is it still, or is it moving?
Now it's still, I would say.
Okay, well, do you want to vibrate it, make it move?
Yeah.
Try accelerating it, see what that's like. Slowing it down, speeding it up.
Speeding it. Yeah.
So what would you say is desirable to make it less unpleasant?
Very fast.
Okay. So, the last thing, which is not on the list, but I think is always useful, is maybe give it a shape. So, it could be like an egg or a...
Yeah, something like that.
But in your chest, is it that big?
Yeah, it would be
Like a
big ball.
A big ball? Does it have a colour, the ball?
Black.
A black ball, okay. So I think that's sort of great. Let's just talk for a moment, because I'll just talk to everyone else. So you understand how to do the structure, and it kind of makes sense, and well done. I'm going to give you a compliment that I hope you've never received before. You have great... there's a word for it in NLP, I've forgotten it, but it's still the compliment, which is, it's called, oh my God.
It will come back.
It will come back, and it's called, okay, no, it's gone. It's sort of like some kind of dexterity at this. Okay. That's right, sensory acuity, well done. It's a kind of it's an NLP term, which I should have on the tip of my tongue, but as the years pass, less and less is on the tip. So there's a sort of, let's do a little bit of coaching, just some benefit. Now, looking over at the original picture over there again, there is something that, you obviously have the skills to look back on this and laugh. There's a saying from Richard Bandler. There's a saying that in 10 years' time, you'd look back on this and laugh. Why wait? Mm-hmm. But there's something you need to learn. Basically, maybe there's some kind of learning that if you could take that learning, you could then let go of the feeling. But until you do, maybe there's an important, it feels like some sort of value has been, or something happened. So what do you need to learn from that experience?
I think it's putting things in perspective for me. And this exercise is very interesting because something which was potentially something not major but important when it happened, it's not important. So using that exercise is helping to just push it away and just put some perspective into the situation.
Sure. I mean, I think that's one learning, and I think that's reasonable. I agree with that. At the same time, I mean, there's sort of 2 points, isn't there? Is that there's an idea that somebody's done something which has probably gone against your values. Mm-hmm. You know, pooping outside your house is not the nicest thing to do. You know, I mean, but, you know, it's also a bit of a sort of difficult situation, potentially, depending, you know, if you have a large man with a large dog, it's maybe not the best time to sort of, you know, go into full warrior mode. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but maybe there's something that you need to do to kind of acknowledge it or do so. I just feel there's something, you know, that you would have felt powerless in some ways, or did you say something? I don't know. Maybe you did already.
Yeah, I just told them that it wasn't very nice and not very considerate for people living in the streets, that's all.
Great. So is there anything else you would have liked to have done? Do you feel like I didn't do enough?
No, being able to do it without having all this negative feeling. Yes, so being able to get to this neutral state where you can, as you say, I think it's a question of values. So being able to speak with this person without negative feeling, just saying, okay, it's not very nice to do that, but without any negative feeling, because I don't want to keep this negative feeling for me. So being able to go to the neutral state straight away.
That sounds a bit angelic. I don't know. I mean, look, I don't want to sort of overcook this, but it depends a little bit on the situation. Sometimes there's an element about the expression and containment. You know, that sometimes, yeah, I mean, you know, if you chased him down the street or something with a gun or something, that might have been not good. Uh-huh. But if you would have said nothing, that might not have been good. So I don't know. But what I mean is, but that can be relevant. But you're almost putting a lot of pressure on yourself. You're saying something bad happened, and what I'd like to do is not react to bad things when they happen. And that seems a bit,
It's not reacting. It's being able to take it as it is. It's not a huge deal. As we say, it's putting things in perspective. It's not something major. It's something very tiny. In not even 10 years, I will not remember it. Or now I might, because we've worked on it. I should not remember that. So it's not giving it too much importance, and you have so many things in life which you're giving potentially too much importance. Is being able to say, okay, you know what, at the end of the day, I just do what I feel is important, so speaking with a person, but I just let it go. It should not impact me.
Excellent. So in some senses then all that we've done just now supports what your positive intention.
Yes, completely.
So now when you look back on that, how do you feel about it?
Quite all right.
Great. Okay, I'm not sure about the smell, but we'll work on that later. All right, well done. Thank you.